Hello everyone, welcome to Was das, and today's video where we will be diving into the world of German nouns. Let's get started. In German, every noun has a gender, known as Genus. There are three different genders. A noun can be either masculine, der, feminine, die, or neutral, das. For example, der Mann, the man, is masculine, die Frau, the woman, is feminine, and das Kind, the child, is neutral. As an example, if you wanted to say the man is tall, you would say der Mann ist groß. Another thing you might have realized here is that nouns in German are always capitalized. Now, back to the gender of German nouns. Sometimes these genders make sense, like here, but unfortunately, most of the times they don't. To name only a few examples, we would say die Kartoffel, the potato. Why is the potato feminine? Nobody knows. Der Fuß, the foot. Why is the foot masculine? Women have feet too. And last but not least, das Mädchen, the girl. Why is the girl neutral? It doesn't seem to make any sense. That's why it's important to learn nouns together with their definite articles, der, die or das, right from the start. It will make learning German a lot easier, believe me. But there are some rules and guidelines that might help you with learning these articles. Since it would take too long to mention all of them, I would like to focus on the most important and most helpful ones here. Remember das Mädchen? Nouns that end in chen are always neutral. Other nouns that are always neutral are nouns that end in net, such as das Dokument, the document. Now, what about feminine nouns? In German, there are many nouns that end in e, such as die Schule, the school, and these are almost always feminine as well. Nouns that end in such as die Meinung, the opinion, are always feminine as well. Nouns that end in heit or keit, such as die Gesundheit, the health, or die Höflichkeit, the politeness, are always feminine as well. So, what about masculine nouns? Nouns that end in or, such as der Motor, the engine, are always masculine. Nouns, often job titles, that end in er, such as der Lehrer, the teacher, are almost always masculine as well. Usually, we can form the feminine version of that job by adding in. So, der Lehrer becomes die Lehrerin. Der Bäcker, the baker, would become die Bäckerin, and so on. And as I've said before, these are not all rules and guidelines, but the most important ones. In case you want to see all of them, simply take a look at our website, linked in the description below. Okay, so much for the gender of nouns. But what happens when we talk about the plural of nouns? So not one man, but two or even three men. Here we always use die, no matter what gender the noun is, which is beautiful. So, der Mann becomes die Männer, die Frau becomes die Frauen, das Mädchen becomes die Mädchen. So far, so good. But you've probably noticed something else as well. German has several ways to form those plurals. Mann, Männer, Frau, Frauen, Mädchen didn't even change. So when it comes to these plural forms, unfortunately, there is no one-size-fits-all kind of rule, meaning that together with the noun's gender, you should try to memorize the plural form of each noun as well. Sorry. But again, don't despair, there are some helpful guidelines to help you with that. Here are the most important ones. Nouns that end in e, such as die Schule, have en as their plural ending. So the schools are die Schulen. Nouns that end in chen, such as das Mädchen, and also nouns that end in er, such as der Lehrer, usually do not change for the plural. So the teachers would be die Lehrer. But female teachers, such as die Lehrerin, add another en for their plural forms. So the teachers, female ones, would be die Lehrerin. There are some more guidelines, but since they're not that important, we're not going to address them here. But you can find them on our website. So, here are the most important rules from this video in a nutshell. There are three German articles, der, die, and das. Unfortunately, most often than not, these articles are arbitrary, which is why we should learn these articles right from the start together with their noun. The articles for German plural forms, on the other hand, are less strict. Here we always use die, no matter what gender the noun is. Something helpful though is that there are certain endings that usually indicate whether a noun is masculine, feminine, or neutral. Well, to repeat and practice the content of this video, click on the link below and you will be taken directly to a free exercise, no sign up necessary. But there is more than just grammar that you need in order to master a language. For even more exercises, explanations, tables, vocabulary sets, learning aids and even online lessons, simply visit our website www.wasdas.com. You will find the link in the description below. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun German lessons. See you next time. Bye bye.